analytics are shaping our world. This afternoon, ma'am will guide us through what the big data ecosystem looks like today and how new tools in augmented analytics are making things easier and smarter for everyone. So, without any further delay, ma'am, can we start the session?
Yes. Thank you all. Back again to the session. Hope you all had a good lunch. Yes? Yes, no? All right. So, yeah. Hopefully, the morning session, we had a few interaction. Hopefully, I think this session it will be more interactive. All right. How do you want to have the session? Those who could keep your cameras on, you could keep your cameras on. All right. And do you want to have an active session or a passive session? If you want to have an active session, that's post lunch. Type A on the chat. If you want to have a passive session, type P on the chat. Yes, please. Oh, you're all there? Kindly respond on the chat. Am I audible? Yes? No? Thank you, Fatima. Yeah. Do you want to have an active session or a passive session? No answers? A type active. Thank you, Priya ma'am. Others? Yes, please. Thank you. Thank you. Others? These are some techniques where we find how people are really into the online sessions, right? So online sessions, I always find we will not know whether you're there, you're not there. According to response, we'll be able to have it, right? Okay. So without further delay, let us start with our session. Morning we had, what did we learn in the morning? We learned about data pre-processing and feature engineering. A few we are able to have and hands-on. All right, a few we are able to have and hands-on. So I hope my screen is visible to you. Yes. If it is visible, type P on the chat or any one of you can unmute and say. Is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Harini. So today we are going to see about and advanced data analytics and big data, in special about exploratory data analysis. All right. Can one of you who have not answered anything on the chat from the morning, can you put on the responses to my question? What was the data set we used for the morning session hands-on? Those who have not answered anything on chat yet, I want a new person. Thank you, Fatima ma'am. You have been responding. All right. Yeah, it is Titanic data set. And also we found how to use the tips data set, right? The hotel tips data set. But by and large, we didn't use the tips data set. The reason behind it didn't have a missing values, right? We're focusing more on missing values, dropping duplicates, and imputation using mean, median, mode. All right, and very few visualization on count plot and box plot. All right, so this afternoon session we are going to see about exploratory data analysis. All right, so as we begin the session, like in the morning, I'll show you a picture. Look onto the picture carefully, and I want you all to respond only onto the chat. I'll give you 15 seconds. Find out the mistakes. Find the mistakes. Quick, please. Yes. Time over. Can you find the mistakes? No answers yet? Quick, you can unmute and speak, and I want the answers to be very fast. Yes, please. சொல்லுங்க. What are the mistakes you're able to find? Tell me. Is there mistakes or not? Hello? You are all awake or sleeping? Clock hours. Exactly. Thank you, Sukanya ma'am. How many hours we should have in clock? It should be 12, but if you count, it is more than 12. It's 13. Yes, exactly. Thank you. Others. The few more mistakes. Find it out fast. Thank you, Sukanya ma'am. What about others? Anyone would like to give a try? Mm-hmm. Okay. The mistakes are, yeah, that's more than 12 hours. And you see this door handle is on the other side. It's way up. It should be on the other side. And the rocking chair always has a rounded edge. It does not have a squares. All right. These are the three mistakes. All right. So moving on into the advanced data analytics and big data and exploratory data analysis. So what is exploratory data analysis? How do you analyze your data? For morning, I told what is the package, Python package for analyzing data? Answers quick on chat, please. What is the package for analyzing data? Morning, what have you worked? Pandas, thank you. Sukanya ma'am was right. What about others? There are so many, but many of you are not responding at all. I want everyone to respond. There are some people whom I have not heard, right? So following which I'm going to call by name, right? All right. So thank you so much. Yes, for analysis it was pandas, and for visualization it was seaborn. All right. Why why we need to have an explorer? We need to analyze the data using visual techniques, right? Where I showed you how the data set was there and how we are able to see using count blocks, right? And also remember I showed you about the Google trends. What are the latest trends, right? So there, what they do an analysis is all about with their data, right? How many people they search on the Google. From that, what the words are searching are so much and so more. Accordingly, the trend has been yes. So thank you, Fatima ma'am. It's yes. Seaborn is for visualization. That's exactly right, right? And also it helps you to find mistakes, right? And also here you find preliminary selection of what model you can use and what are the relationship between your exploratory variables, right? How to access the rough size and direction of relationship between, we'll be seeing about heat maps, right? How it works, how the correlation works between the data set. So here, when we say it is exploratory data analysis, it's a process of examining or understanding your data and what are the different statistical models or machine learning models that you can apply to it. In general, if you take any AI algorithm, machine learning or deep learning algorithm, what is a base? Listen carefully. The base is finding the data patterns, right? How many of you have got friends? Friends in your college students friends, working environmental friends. How many friends you maximum could have? Close friends, how many maximum? This is not with syllabus. Kindly respond to this question. I want everyone to give a response. How many close friends you have? If you don't have any close friends, only one. Thank you, Fatima John. Ma'am. Others, fast, fast. 3. Thank you, Sukanya. No, close friends alone. Close friends alone. Fast, please. Hello. Only 2 have responded. What about the other 24? 23? Quick, Chikrama. Tell. How many close friends you have? With this only, I evaluate myself how many of you are really listening to the session. Or how many of you just joined the session and left. If you are not responding. If you don't have any close friends, just give 0 on the chat. But be quick. Only 2 responded. What about others? There's so many of you, Harini, Dharani, Dr. Janani, Nitya, Alvin, Anand. All right. Any response? Oh, Harini, I got 2. Yes, Jeniba, Pandyaman, Sindhuja, Agnes Vidya. Yes, Veera Lakshmi, Vishwan, Srinishta, Saundarya, Raj. Yes. How many close friends you have? Alright, only I got response from 3 people, right? You cannot have more people. How do you find your close friends? You find your close friends only if you like their behavior and also um, we like their patterns, right? The way they behave, or what kind sincerity, how much truthful they are. First thing up with that they're not gossiping. You share a secret with them. They don't share it with others. When they stand with you in your hard times, right? And they tell you what is right, what is wrong was wrong. All right, and so much and so more. All right, so here is a process of examining the discovering the patterns. You find when you go to the first day of college, you see so many people, but at the end of your college, you have major 1, 2 of friends, close friends, right? So this is what happens because others through experience, through trial and error, we remove them, or we don't like the patterns of their behavior here. But in see, for example, we saw what on climatic data sets, right? So that's a huge data set. And here you have to work with huge volumes of data. And for machine learning, very important to know the data patterns, right? So on how to detect errors, how to find the relationships, how to check assumptions, and find meaningful insights. For this, we use different statistics and visualization. So what we have, what data you have? You have numerical data, or categorical data, or test data, or time series data. Say, for example, if you go for medicinal times, it is time series data on healthcare department. All right. And also the gold prices, if you take it's a time series. So what kind of data you have? And is the data clean? That's what we have seen in the previous session. Remember the data pre-processing and your feature engineering. Whether there are missing values, yes, we found. We also found whether there are outliers and how to find the outliers, what are the different methods, and also whether they are duplicates. And how the data is distributed. It's normal or skewed or it's uniform. Or what is the relationship between the correlation and the trends? Which features are important and what transformations are pre-processing on it. So you give a raw data, all right. So this is how it goes. You give in a raw data and then it goes to the EDA. So descriptive analytics, adjustment of variable types, redactional treatment of missing data, identification of a typical data set, and correlation of variables. This is what is in nutshell that you will deal with the data on the EDA. All right. So when you take EDA in data science, first you collect your data, you clean this, we have done it, and data profiling, whether it's a univariate analysis or bivariate or multivariate, and visualization and interpretation. This interpretation is very important. It's very important. All right. So able to understand till this? Yes. All right. So in EDA, you collect your data, clean your data, You're profiling your data, whether it's a univariate analysis or multivariate or bivariate, and at the end you see a graphical representation. For this, by and large, there are many packages, but we are in this session we'll be using about matplotlib and cbon. There are packages like bokeh packages, all right. There's packages like plotly, that's a little advanced, right? And say for example you have a student's name, hours he studied, what is the exam percentage and exam score, all right. And then we can use these tools, right? Pandas for data analysis, matplotlib for visualization, cbon is also for visualization, and scikit-learn for machine learning algorithms, all right. So this is critically the first step in any big data projects, right? It helps analysts and and also data scientists and business teams, right? To understand how they move through the analytics, right? So it gives you overall view of a data set, its size, shapes, variables, and patterns. And then, for example, which column is categorical or numerical, and how do you analyze it? And also, this helps to identify whether there are missing values. I'm going to show you. Let me go to this itself. Mm, so we started with NumPy, sorry, pandas, cbon, different data sets. So we have Titanic data set. We have loaded the data set. All right. So here I'm going to import a package called missing numbers. Is there missing numbers? Was there missing numbers? Yes, there were missing numbers there in Titanic data set. But we were not able to understand, right, how it is really. But we are seeing to use what is that we use? Is null dot sum of. All right, is null dot sum of is the package. See, there's one more package I'm going to show you. This is called import missing number dot msno, right? Missing number dot msno. All right. In that, I'm going to show you a matrix form, right? Can you see here? I'm just loading the data set. Wherever it is black, there is no null variables, null values. Wherever it is white, it is null. So you saw, right? Deck has lot of null variables and age. And this is according from row number 1 to row number 891. Can you see this visualization? So I'll make it even a little more smaller so you'll be able to see it. So without even using is null dot sum of, you are able to see to it. Yes. So wherever it is white, and also you see there were two missing values in embark and embark count. Can you see which location it was there? All right. Able to understand? So this is what it's always mostly analyzing and into visualization. Can you try to import before? Now open the same pandas notebook. After you load it, before you drop your data, try to do this missing numbers. Import missing number.msno, msno.matrix. So it shows you in visualization how many missing values are there. Can you try it now? Once you try it, done, share it as done. This is a visualization for missing numbers. After you load your data set, before you drop your columns of deck, before which you need to try this. Only 2 lines go. Done. One done, I've got others. Others, are you trying? Or shall I proceed? Any doubts you can ask? Yes? Okay, I'm not getting responses from others. All right, this is how you will be able to detect the data quality. So from this visualization, you can see how many missing values are there. All right, and then also inconsistency. So next is to find DDA. The exploratory data analysis is used to discover hidden data patterns or hidden insights. That is not even more clear, right? That is not even more clear. That seasonal patterns, customer behavior, sales trends, or how it is be. So it also reveals your patterns. So again, moving back here. So we have seen this. So we have done the curations and we have a data sets here, right? So we have count plot of how many survived, how many. So in this, say for example, I'm going to take the same thing, right? Same. Listen, look carefully. SNS.count plot, this we have seen on the morning session itself, right? SNS.count plot, how many survived, how many died. In that, listen carefully, if I want to find how many male and female were there. All right, I want to know how many males survived, how many females survived. So let me see with the columns, right? So it is okay. In that I'm giving Q. Now listen. Now can you see this is the total number of people died. This is total number of people survived. And in that I want to know how many male and how many female survived. Here if I see those who have not survived, more were male but less were female. And how many survived? More were female and less were male, which means male have helped female to on their process of survival, right, during the panic time. Able to understand? So these things you cannot try to say, can you try to understand from this? If I'm going to give a df dot head of maybe or 10 or something, nothing you can understand from this. All right, but from this here, very important, you need to write your inference. Inference is very, very important. So what do you see here? Uh, Female survived more than male during a Titanic event. During a Titanic ship sink. Able to understand? Here you can make it bold if you want to make it bold text, or if you want to increase the font, you can increase the font. All right. Now can you try this? SNS within that count plot. First we had count plot like this. How many were, how many died, how many survived, and the same I'm trying to use it with the gender. So this is called exploited data analysis, trying to know the data patterns. You can try and then tell me whether you have done it or not. Done? All right. So this is how you'll be able to do your exploratory data analysis within that, revealing the patterns. And not only revealing the patterns, very important is that to find write the inferences. And also this EDA. Whenever I say EDA, it is exploratory data analysis. Business often have hypothesis. Which month the sales were good? Which month the sales were less? Who was a very good salesperson? Right? More app usage, more purchases. So EDA can confirm the relationship. Say, for example, we are all moving into more into the digital world, right? And relationship between variables is very, very important. That's whether it is positive or negative correlation or multi-correlation or feature interaction. So how important? First, you have to understand the data. You need to clean the data, pattern discoveries, data visualization. Then comes your model selection and your quality control. This is your steps in doing it, right? So how a machine learning pipeline works, right? How a machine learning pipeline works. First, you take data from different resources, right? And then you do a data analysis, right? Where we do a pre-processing, curations. Then you move to feature engineering. After feature engineering, go into feature selections, and then you build a machine learning model and you model it. All right. So here we are going to see what are the types of data, whether it's numerical data or categorical data or text data, how the values are distributed, right? How the data are distributed. That's very important. All right. And how do you find it, right? Data description. That is also very, very important to find, right? How what is the data description? So I am having it here as df, right? So df dot describe of is a function. Listen carefully. Df dot describe is for descriptive analytics, right? So how many counts were there? What is the minimum mean of the data? Say age is mean age is 29, the fair is 20, and what is the standard deviation, and what is the minimum value, right? Age is 0.4, which is 4 months baby is also traveled, right? And also maximum, what is the age person who have traveled? 80 years they have traveled. Can you see here? And also how many siblings, how many parents, how many, what is the fare? Maximum fare is 512. The minimum fare is no fare, and mean is 32. All right. Here you see the top 25%, 50 and 70%. In the morning session, do you remember I told you about IQR? Inner quartile range from Q3 minus Q1. So 75%, 25% and 60%. Now you can try df dot describe of. df dot describe of. Yes. Done. Two of you have done. Others. Right. Now moving back. Hmm. So you can also find the distribution of data, the size, shape, and the structure of the data, right? And then this already we have seen to it, and whether it's skewed or not skewed, or there's quarters of data, that also could be found. The skewness of data, the skewness of your data, df dot skew of. All right. You can also find the skewness and quarters of data. All right. And very importantly, how do you select the right machine learning algorithm model? If there are many outliers, you go for tree-based. If it is linear relationship, go for linear or logistic regression. If it is non-linear patterns, you go on for SVMs, all right, or tree or neural networks. Or many categoricals, you go for cat-post or light GPM. So, and also you can work with different scalings. What have a min-max scaling or standard scaling or encoding or normalization. Sometimes if the values are so much deviated, then you go for normalization and other things we have seen, right? So let's see how it is going to work on with that and what are the different validations methods, right? And it has helped in industry by and large for many people. So there are different types of EDAs. One is univariate, bivariate, and multivariate. What is univariate? It analyzes only one variable. Bivariate, it relationships between two variables. And multivariate, it is interaction between multiple variables, right? Multiple variables. So it depends on your data sets, right? It depends on your data set. And also we have used inbuilt data set. I can show you this. Make a note of it. It is called UCI Machine Learning Repository. All right. Here you can try what kind of data set you want to work on with. All right. So this is a benchmark data set and it is realistic. See here you have got lung sound, right? Sound. It has 535 recordings of lungs, heart and lung sound captured by digital. So the scope from clinical mannequin, both individual and mixed recordings, 50 heart sounds, 50 lung sounds, 145 mixer, corresponding to 145 recording. It includes recording from different and it makes for the abnormal sounds. So tabular, and you can see from where they have got the data set. Has missing values? No, it's a very new data sets, right? 2025 data set. All right, and I will give you this link onto the chat. Now I'll give you a minute time. You can go and search for the machine learning repositories data sets on the link. I'm giving the link on the chat. I'm giving the link on the chat. I'll give you a few minutes time so that you can see to it what are the different data sets. This is for vision language. This is for crop, paddy data set, power grid of Bangladesh. See how much data sets they have. And this for bank marketing. These are benchmark data, so you can use it. We currently have 688 data sets, and you can use it for your machine learning algorithms to develop, to start, begin, train. Mhm. Session. Hope you have tried. If you have tried opening the website, seen a few data sets, then post it onto the chat as tried. Have you opened the website? Have you tried it? Yes, very less response. Why? All right. Alright. So it analyzes only one variable, then we can use histograms, all right, or box plots that you have seen, right, or bar charts or summary charts with mean, median, and mode, right? That also you can try with that, right? And uh, um, then you can see how this histograms, right, how the distribution of data are there, right? So I can show you. This is using matplotlib pyplot as PLT. So we have age, how the age distribution for univariate data sets. All right. Oh, I have not shared. Okay, now I've shared. See, I'm importing matplotlib. Morning session, we have seen Seaborn for both data sets and the visualization. Now let's see for univariate, just with one variable. Bivariate, you remember where we have done with survival and age. All right, that we have done. So here, I'm going to import matplotlib.pyplot as PLT, and I'm defining my size of my figure. PLT.figure size, 8 row size and 5 column size. And then I'm doing SNS.histplot of age, drop NA. If there is not available, I'm going to drop. And kernel density estimate equal to true. And I'm giving the title, right? Distribution of age. And then x-axis is age, y-axis count. Now you can see the count between 29, 28 to 30 was the highest here. People who have traveled through Titanic. And there are people with 80 years and 0.4. Can you see the distribution? Purirda? Yes or no? Yes, please. So now can you try this for univariate analysis? Bivariate we have already done. Univariate, try please. You're trying. You're trying. You're trying. Others also please respond. No, Dharni, Nitya. Many of you are not getting response. Please do respond. Okay, what answer from Sukanya ma'am? What about others? Fatima ma'am, are you trying? All right. Yeah, thank you. So this is how your univariate works, right? This is how your univariate works. So I've showed you about histograms, box plot already we have seen. If it is bivariate, right? If it is bivariate between two variables, and if you know to find the patterns of correlation, we go on for the cause effect behavior. We can go for scatter plots or coefficient. Pearson's coefficient is what it is being used, right? And then the cross tabulation, line graph and covariance, right? So multi is this, and before moving on to these, let me show you how to work with scatter plots. So we have DF. DF to try this df.info. It will give you a data frame of the Titanic of informations. It is integer or object, and or it is a float object, or is it boolean, or so much and so on. So totally you've got two boolean category, one float, and four integer and five objects, right? And five objects. So this is df.info. So if I want to know on my x-axis and also the number of variables, right? That different types. For that, if you want to know the new numeric, how many unique values, df.n unique of, right? df.n unique of how many unique values. So you should have a visualization how many you can have on your x-axis, how many you can have on your y-axis. Say for example, if I'm going to have p class on my x-axis and y I can have my inch, all right, or y I can have my fair also, all right. So how will I do? SNS dot, what are the plots we have did? Box plot we have did, right? Box and plot we have did. Maybe let me try scatter plot. All right. On my x-axis, I'm going to take x is equal to the p class, right? It should be exactly the same. Listen carefully. It should be exactly the same p class, and onto my y, I'm going to have it as fair, and comma data equal to df. Let's see. Can you see what is the range here? Try. Or you can have age versus fair, because class was discrete kind. How can you see age the fair? See, two people between 30 to 40 has paid the highest fare. It could be an outlier too. And also along with this, I'm going to add hue. What is hue? How many survived? Hue is equal to survived. Now you can you see the range? Orange means they've survived. One, right? And the blues are all, they died. So this is about bivariate analysis. This is all about your bivariate analysis, right? Can you try now? Yes. Once you've done, give done on the chat. Thank you, Sukanya ma'am. Others completed. Have you completed? Okay. Got answer from three. Right. So this is about univariate and multivariate. All right, how it works and how you are able to see it, right? So now we are going to see uh, the heat maps, right? Heat maps works only, and also you've got another plot called as violin plot, right? That also you can try, right? I'll show you the violin plot, how it works. SNS, same seed one only I'm going to use. All right. SNS, X is equal to the gender, right? And on to the Y, I'm going to take age, and U is how many survived. And data is equal to DF, and split is equal to true, right? Now, if I run it, you can see it looks in the type of violin. Can you see? It looks like violin, like blue for those who died and one orange for who survived, right? And the space, listen carefully, the space in the middle is bigger, right? That specifies your kernel density estimate. That is, that defines your kernel density estimate. All right. This is also a part of EDA, exploratory data analysis. You can try now the violent plots. Yes. Done? Okay. One of you have done others. These are different plots available, right? So we are seeing only a few plots because it's hands-on. I want you all to try it. It's not only I speak and go, I want you all to try it. We have seen a count plot, a scatter plot, violin plot. All right. And the next thing that we could go about, there's one more plot called as swarm plot. All right, there's one more plot called the swarm plot. So it is like a swarm of bees, right? It is like a swarm of bees. You can see to it. I'm just trying to use gender and age. Can you see it looks like a swarm of bees? Right, gender. And also here again I can also use Q equal to survived. So inside this itself I'll have even a clear depiction of how many survived and how many died. Can you see male many died and female many survived? And can you see this looks like a swarm of bees? Alright, so this plot is called a swarm plot. This plot is called as swarm plot. Alright, so just try it out, try swarm plots now. Can you try? I hope you're all trying. This is about swarm of bees. So inside this itself you'll be able to find it out. Now we know. Have you tried? No, you're still trying. Only SNS.swarm plot. X is, I'm just keeping X as gender and Y as age and Q as survived. I'm just only changing the types of plots. All right. Hope you are trying. I want participants to be more active. There are some people who are not responded at all. The college is taking so much of efforts and bringing resource person to train you, and you're all attending it. Kindly use it to the fullest. Thank you. The most active is Sukanya ma'am. Some of them who responded are Sukanya, Fatima, Felicia, and Soma ma'am, Soma Sundari ma'am. And many who have not responded. Alright, so this is how your swarm plots works. Alright, if I want to have a strip plot, right? This we call it a strip plot. SNS dot strip plot. Can you see this looking like strips, right? It is looking like strips. I can reduce it to 6 and 4. You can see the strips even more small. Can you see it? It is looking like strips, right? How many male, how many female, what is their age, and how many the survived or not survived. Or, huh? Oh, let's try it out. Hello? Uh, yes, miss. Yes, come. Second floor. The second floor. Ibbe, office, yeah, office. The second floor. Second floor. Second floor. Join செய்ய இங்கெல்லாம் வரணும் சின்ன ஸ்கூல் போற சொன்னேன் உடனே கூட்டிட்டு வந்து have you tried the swarm plots? A jitter is the delay. So jitter is the delay. So I'll show you with the jitter. Thank you for asking, Fatima. And this is with jitter, you see the difference. And I'll also remove the jitter and dodge. Right? Even without this, you can have it. Can you see the difference? It is overlapping. All right. So if it is Sir is from our live session, come first. Dance. Dance practice. Please do try. Sir is for dance practice. Have you come? Now you are able to understand, ma'am, what is jitter? Thank you. Anita is welcome. Yes. Anita is welcome. This coordinator. If you have done, give done on the chat. So what are the different plots we have seen? Count plot, box plot, scatter plot, strip plot, swarm plot, violin plot. Since you have done, give done on the chat. Done, able to understand? Have you all done? Yeah, I got response from Fatima ma'am. They're trying to do. Only 2, 3 are doing. Yeah, thank you. So let's move to the next one more plot. See, all these are exploratory data analysis. How do you find your data, right? What are the data patterns you find, right? It's very, very important. So this is point plot. Say for example, on the x-axis, I'm getting the class of passengers, first class, second class, and third class, and how many survived, how many zeros they survived, sorry, zeros they died, and one is what they survived. So with that, male and female. Can you see? So you can see first class passengers, they survived, females. Almost they survived and others they. So these are the, for every plot you need to write an inference. Now let's try the seventh plot, that is the point plot. The seventh plot is a point plot. Hello. Mm. Mm. Where? Where? Inform Google answer that is coming for the practice. Other is saying something. Have you tried point plot? Yeah, keep trying, please. All right. Have you all got the point plot? Done. Once you've completed, let me know so that we'll move into the correlations. That is the final coding that we are going to work on. But yeah, so Kenya ma'am, thank you for completing it. Others, are you trying? There's no more response. Able to understand? Hello everyone, you're able to understand? Because it's hands-on, I'm going between coding and the theory part. All right. If you don't try, you will not be able to understand. So that's what from the morning we are going with the coding part of it. Speaking theory is easier for me, but making you to work is something very important. How many of you have completed? See, what are the plots we have seen? Hands-on plots. Can you put it onto the chat quick, please? Done? All right. Okay. Next, now we are going to see the in general, Seaborn allows Pearson's correlation. You can also define uh, Spearman correlation or Manhattan correlation. That is also allowed, right? That is also allowed. So let's see here and the correlation. Listen, correlation works only for uh, numerical columns, that is which is of integers and float, but it will not work for objective steps like yes or no. It will not work. But see, but here yes or no is correlated with the alive, so I'm going to take only numerical columns, right? And P class is correlated with this column class, and the gender is calculated here, right? So I'm going to take only numerical columns. So I'm going to define a variable called cor, CORR is equal to df dot cor. So only the correlation. I'm going to compute the correlation. By default, the correlation is Pearson's correlation. All right, and then I'm going to take numeric underscore only equal to true. Only the columns which are numeric. Listen very carefully, and then I'll give you time. I'm going to plot it according to 10 and 8. So survive P class 8 sibling fan, may error alone. All right, and then I'm converting it and Boolean also detects zeros and ones. And then only you can see embarkment, you cannot see here. தெரியுதா எல்லாமே வந்திருக்கும் இந்த embarked alone would have not come, and embarked down would have not come because it's fully on objective. But others, if I would have showed you before earlier, um, I'll again run it. df.info பார்த்தீங்கன்னா உங்களுக்கு இன்டீஜர் ஜெண்டர் செக்ஸ்ன்றது வந்திருக்காது. others everything would have come. Category would have not come. Class, first class, second class. But who also would have not come. Adult, object, Boolean it will come. Embarked down would have not come. Alone would have not. Alive would have not come. And Boolean would have not come. Boolean would have come. Object categories வராது. அடுத்து integer float Boolean will come. Able to understand? இப்போ இதுல பாத்தீங்கன்னா see our thing is whether they survived or not. So which has got strong correlation. How many of you like yourself? Every one of you like yourself, right? So that is strongly correlated. That is one. All right, able to understand? That is one. Every one of you like yourself, so that's one. And then eventually, if you move on, eventually with the class, how much it is correlated, and you can see to it, right? And positive correlations are blue, negative correlations are dark blue color, blue and light blue, and strong correlations are red. I've given this color map as school one. There are different color maps available, right? And see, you will get the positive and the negative correlation. All right, this is how you can compute the correlations. Can you try now? Can you try now, please? So we have seen the different plots, right? Starting from form plot, box plot, point plot, scatter plot, violin plot, swarm plot, strip plot, and finally we've generated the heat maps. So, done, sir. You're coming. You go. Any doubts till now? Once you have done, tell me it is done. Able to understand? Have you done with your heat maps? Yes, no, no, yes. All right. So let me move on. Can you move on to the slides? Please do respond. Again, at the end of it, we have a simple quiz to play. All right. So, what are the challenges with EDA when you work with huge volumes of data? Say, for example, if you're going to take a climatic data, the volume of the data is so much to be loaded onto the memory. And also, if you're going to scrap data from website, if you want to analyze with your X data or with the Instagram's data, you have got structured, semi-structured, and unstructured formats, right? And the velocity of data, the flow in which the data comes inside a very, very high speed and complex storage, right? Data are stored across different systems and the processing limits. Traditionally, tools like pandas become slow. You want on the spot, and you've got live dashboards, right? You've got live dashboards available, which does the analysis, all right, which and how things work on with, right, and how things work on, all right, and that you need to see to it how your live dashboard works, right? You can also see to your live dashboard, right, and and then you can see about the visualization if you so here we have taken data where you are able to see your visualization effects, right? I defined the figure size. You remember every time I was defining the figure size, how it should be, and how it should come, right? How much on X and how much on your Y. And then data quality issues are there. So if there is more missing values, if there's no more duplicates and noises. So sampling techniques here, what we do, since full data is very expensive, we do samplings of data. And there we take samplings of data where we take random subsets of data and good for unbiased explanations, and then also stratified samplings where we take proportional representation. And also you have to think this, you need to use SMOT analysis if the data is overbalanced or underbalanced, right? And the systematic samplings. So select every kth record for effective order data sets, right? And here in cluster samplings, you take entire group by group and you work on with, and which reduces cost and complexity. And why sampling? Because it's a very faster method of EDA, especially when you work with petabytes, zettabytes, and petabytes of data, right? And distributed EDA techniques in big data when you work, so like YouTube, one minute how many data of videos of your Instagram, how many posts have been done, right? And then WhatsApp. So here they run on distributed machines instead of single machine. So for that we have an API like use Spark data frame, that is PySpark for large scale EDAs, right? It supports like SQL like operations, parallel processing, and task is another parallel computing library for Python, right? And it's for chunk, it's very good for chunk data processing and basic computations. Hive queries, right? Hive is a part of big data ecosystem, right? It's a part of big data's ecosystem, and it is suitable for massive data sets and aggregations. We use this like sum of count of, you remember when I did df dot describe of, right, and filtering of larger data sets. So these are about how we work with huge volumes of data. Now let's play a simple scan it and come fast. It's loading. Yeah, join fast, please. Have you all joined? Nobody has joined. Kindly join the quiz. I'll also share the link on the chat. Give your name, please. Only one person has joined. Others are joining. Scan the QR code or type on your mobile slido.com, give the code 1305394 or click on the link and join fast. Also, kindly take care of your health. Health is your wealth. 10 years back, I was working as professor and head in engineering college. I just had fever on April 30th. All right. And as everybody takes paracetamol, even I took paracetamol. May 1, I had an inspection to visit. I became paralyzed below my hip. Both hands didn't work. Below my hip, nothing worked. They took me to the doctor. My bladder didn't work. And they took CT concentrated MRI, and they said I will not work for life. Right after 13 days, I told I'm going back home because they gave 25 tablets per time, 75 tablets per day, and I was not able to eat even 1 gram of rice. My tooth became yellow, my hand all out became very loose. All right, my thigh became flat. What is not possible with men, it is possible with God. So only through prayers and physiotherapy I revived back. All right, and from 2017, yeah, I started this company and we started going on, and now it's only God's grace. We keep going for different events throughout the year, and the things are so. Your health is your wealth, right? Your health is your well. That is what I keep saying in all my sessions. For example, this is my 62nd session of this year, right? 162nd session of this year, and throughout this year, we have trained people from different peoples, and almost the count is almost 15,000 people we have trained. All right. So what I'm trying to say, your health is very, very important. So invest your time so effectively. Right, only two have joined. Okay, let's start with the quiz. Okay, only two have joined. Okay, data is too large to fit. First place, Sukanya ma'am. Second question. Others could still join. The QR code is there. The code and Slido score is also there. So stratified sampling, yes, exactly the right answer. Let's move on to the third question. Which tool is commonly used for distributed EDA on very large data set? On very large data set. Very large data set is PySpark. That's right. Okay, fourth question of the day. Becomes cluttered and unreadable. So that's what we also had, that jitter, right? The final question. Which statement is true about height? And the right answer is it uses SQL like queries. Right. So winner is Sukanya ma'am, second place Harini ma'am. So thank you all for joining this session. All right. So I've live streamed the session on YouTube channel of mine. You can take a note of the YouTube channel. All right. Some of you have given reviews of what you've learned from the first session. And if you want, we can follow the same for the second session. I'll give our social media links and what we do at CIRF also onto the Meet link. Right. You can just follow it up. And even in the first session, I showed you about our contact details. Right, this is a website cirf.co.in, the email ID and the password. Sorry, email ID and the mobile ID, not the password. Definitely no. And then, and this is what we do at CIRF. We focus on four pillars: research, development, education, and training. That's the core part of what we do it here. All right. And internships are open. We have two types of internship. One is paid. They pay and then we train, because students also we provide internships to faculties. All right, because a faculty, if you are equipped through your thousands and thousands of students should be developed, and you can see what are the events that we have conducted. These are the domains we provide internships: 15 days, 30 days, 3 months, 6 months. You can see through it how it we provide both online and offline. All right, and you can see on our website all the links have been given, and over to the organizers. Any questions you can ask? Over to the organizers.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there any questions from the participant side? Okay, ma'am. Then thank you so much for your enlightening session, ma'am.
Welcome.
And thank you for making your time to be with us today. First of all, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Bye bye. God bless.
Yes.